Is it live?
Hang on. You should be live. Hang on. Yep, you're live. I'm gonna meet up.
Let me just load. There you go.
Like,
Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to the Q&A with Sonic Boon today. This is technically the 4th episode in the Q&A. So
Hey, Omar.
I'm so glad you guys can be here. And of course, I have my
What you
lovely
doing?
co-host, Abluemoon88 here.
Thanks for coming.
And here's our guest of honor, Sonic Boon.
Hi! Oh my goodness! Thank you all for coming. You guys are awesome. Oh.
So, shall we get started with this Q&A?
Let's
Sure
do it.
thing.
All right. So, Boon, what got you into Sonic and what got you into drawing?
Oh boy. Well, I've been drawing for as long as I can remember. And well, I watched Sonic X a couple years back, and I instantly got hooked. And then I saw the fandom, and everyone was making art, so I had to hop on the awesome train. And after a lot of practice, here I am.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm just like you, Boon. I got into Sonic because of Sonic X.
Great show.
Yeah.
Definitely a great show. And the fact that you have made your own art style and you have garnered like a lot of people who recognize your art style. As soon as like if someone else posts it, they immediately recognize that it's your artwork. Like I've seen people like immediately recognize, oh, that's Boone's artworks.
Really? Oh, thank you so much. Aw.
Yes. um, I am curious, Boone. Are there any drawings slash artworks you're most proud of?
I sure am. How I have a couple to show. Do I live stream or how do I?
Yes. You can. Yeah, you are more than welcome to show any artworks that you're proud of in the share your screen.
Okie dokie. Let me set this up real quick. Okay, here we go. Can you all see my screen?
Sure can.
Awesome.
Cute.
This is my most favorite.
Ooh, Sonic and Sally. That one was really well done.
Oh, thank you.
What medium did you use to create this one?
Well, I don't know. I just do it digitally, and well, I do the sketch first traditionally, and then I'll go over it digitally and all of that. But this was originally just a redraw from a panel from Archie Sonic, and I just liked it so much I decided to not put the dialogue or anything. Just it is what it is now.
Wow, that's I think this is one of my favorite ones that you've done.
Thank you.
I love the lighting.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And then I did this one as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cute. I love the shooting stars.
Thank you.
Yes, the shooting stars. I kind of like how it directs it, to the subject too. Because as an artist, you kind of like directed, where the viewer's eye should be going to. So that's really great attention to detail.
No, thanks so much.
Mhm.
And then I'll show one more because there's a lot right here. But and then I did this one. It wasn't done too long ago, but
Oh, cute.
Oh, that's so cute. Shadow and Amy.
thank you so much. And then there's a lot more, but I don't want to take up too much time, which is showing art.
That is
Go away.
That's really amazing.
Thanks so much. You guys are awesome.
Sydney, do you have any questions for Boone?
Yeah, I was actually wondering because I know you have different mediums that you like to draw in. Like I've seen you draw in pencil, and I've seen you with markers, and I see you with doing digital art. Do you have a favorite medium you like to use? And if so, why?
Oh, goodness. This is a great question. So, even when my mom got me a tablet and an Apple Pencil to start doing digital art with, I always wanted to still do traditional because I feel like not a lot of people do traditional nowadays. It's all just gone to digital. And right now I've been doing a lot of digital art because, well, my alcohol markers are kind of dry right now. But at the moment, I'll have to say digital because I get to add all this extra lighting and all that. But I really want to get back to traditional again and learn how to do all the stuff that I can do on traditional.
Wow. I love doing traditional too, so I totally get it. It's really true. Not many people do traditional, like coloring and art, it's mostly digital. And
Yeah.
but that's cool. Like, I kind of mix the two in a way when I do my art, so. But I like that you do that too, that you kind of mix like traditional, you kind of do your initial like sketches, and then I kind of know sometimes you kind of translate that digitally or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's really amazing.
Thanks so much.
Oh, okay. Here is my next question. What is one thing you've always wanted to draw but haven't yet?
Oh, this is a great question. All the freedom fighters in one big drawing. Sally, Sonic, Rotor, and Twine, Bunny, all of them just in one big drawing. I just haven't gotten the motivation to do that yet, but I really want to do it one day.
That would be super cool.
Oh, I would totally love to see that. I totally want to see what the whole freedom fighters look like all together in your style in one image. I want to see that.
You guys are so sweet. Aw.
And Boone, actually, like on that note, I know you said you started out with Sonic X and that kind of got you into the franchise, but I know you're also a big Archie fan. Tell me more about that. Like how did you get into that?
Okay, this is a funny story. So when you get into the Sonic franchise, you get introduced to the fan base, and I was looking through everyone's art and stuff, and whoa, this is so cool! I want to do this. And eventually, some of the pages from Archie popped up. I didn't know it was from Archie yet, and I thought they were fan made, and I wanted to find all the rest of the pages because it was like so out of context. Like, Scourge just popped up. Who's this guy? Wait, his name's Scourge? Oh, okay. Who's this? And then I really researched into it, and then I was like, okay, I gotta find these comics, and then I was able to. I didn't know there were websites that had them all on there, so I just watched comic dubs of them, and that's just how I read the comics. And yeah.
That's awesome. Who's your favorite freedom fighter?
Sally.
Good choice. She is a queen, literally.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really nice story, Boone, of how you got into Archie. That's amazing. Ooh, okay. I think I saw a question, I believe. Wait, did I see a question? Okay, I don't see any questions.
Oh, I see one.
Oh, okay. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, sure. It's from Miles Tailsco Prower. Sonic Boon, what is your favorite Sonic character to draw?
Ooh.
Oh, that is such a hard question because I have so many. I'm sorry, I can't just give one character. I'm gonna have to give out like 5. I really like drawing Sally, Amy, Rouge. I really like drawing Silver. I've been finally getting the hang of him. And I also really like to draw Blaze too.
Nice.
Yes, good choices.
You definitely get Sydney's attention if it's Silver and Blaze.
Yeah, I'm in.
If it's Silver and Blaze. Nice. Don't I love the way you draw those characters, Boone. It's just really nice. Every time I see it, I'm just like it's just superb job.
I wish they were like stuffed animals. I would totally buy a line of your stuffed animals, Boone. Like if your drawings were like stuffed animals, I would just buy them because they're so cute.
You are so sweet.
Oh.
Thank you. And Leah, you too. You draw characters so well as well. That's just awesome.
Oh. Oh, thanks.
Of course.
Here is my next question. What character/aspect is the easiest and most difficult to draw? So which like part of the anatomy of characters is like the easiest, and then which is the most difficult to draw?
Okay, so the easiest for me is everything to do with the head. Like the expressions, I really have a lot of fun with expressions and just the head, that's the easiest. And the hardest, well, right now I'm having a hard time with like really dynamic posing, mostly for like fighting scenes and stuff. That's something that I really want to be more strong in because eventually I want to, work for IDW if they're still doing the Sonic comics or whoever's doing the Sonic comics. I want to be a comic illustrator one day. So I really have to be good at drawing those dynamic poses.
Wow. That's a very awesome dream, Boone.
So when that happens, I'll get an autograph, right?
Of course, you'll get all the issues free.
Yes, and all autographed, so I can be like a millionaire and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Sell them on eBay.
Sweet. Okay, I'm glad. I'm great. I'm glad. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'll stash them, so we're good. Yes.
Let's be real here. Sydney is gonna be really famous one day too.
Oh,
Okay,
I
she
don't know.
is so talented.
Well, how about this? If that happens, then I will come. I will still get autograph stuff from you. Okay.
Okay. Deal.
All right. I'm glad we got this sealed and done and decided on. Which
the contracts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the contracts have been signed.
Yep. We got this verbally confirmed. Sweet. Okay. Glad we got that sorted. So I actually have a question for you, Boone. How did you get involved with Revo? And like, tell us about your audition process for Cosmo and stuff.
Ooh, okay. That's so funny. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. So I think it was the 2021 online convention. I heard about it through Project S&T, Courtney. I was a really big fan of hers at the time. I still am.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? She's gonna be there? I want to ask her stuff. So I joined that convention, and after the convention, they give out the usual all year round Revolution server invite. So I joined that. I think I was really young at the time. Not allowed to be on Discord, sorry. And then eventually there was auditions that were coming out, and the first wave you needed a mic, and I didn't have that yet. But then there was another wave, and I just hopped right on that train. My mom got me a mic. Thank you, Mom. And Yeah, and then originally I was trying to audition for Sally, but then by the time I got the mic, she was already taken. So I was like, okay, then I'll go for Fiona. And then my voice wasn't, deep enough. Fiona's an older character, and she sounded young. um, and then Cashelyn, she was the casting director at the time, and she was like, hey, like, maybe you should go for Cosmo because our Cosmo VA just dropped out or couldn't. I don't know the whole story. But yeah, maybe you should try that because I think that'll fit your range more. And then I did, and I got the role, and I was overwhelmed with all the VAs and everyone a part of there, the mods, the hosts. They are all so kind and so sweet and so welcoming. It's just an amazing experience, and I'm so glad I'm here now.
Wonderful. Oh, looks like we got several questions in the chat for you here, Boon.
Sure.
Okay, here is the question from Sushi Arts. Do you plan to join any future Sonic project featuring the Freedom Fighters?
Ooh, well, I've auditioned for a couple. I've auditioned for Sonic Archie Online, and a couple other ones, and I didn't get through. But when I'm more skilled in art, I'm definitely gonna try and do that again. And whatever ones are available now, I'll just be auditioning everywhere.
Ooh, nice. Sydney, do you want to read the next question in the chat?
Yeah, sure. And speaking of Revo, we do have Diet Dr. Kelp in the audience, and he says, hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Here's a question for Boon. Who would you say are some of your biggest inspirations when creating your artwork?
Ooh.
Wow. Hi, Kelp. Super awesome and talented guy here too. Yeah. So I have a whole list written down because I knew this question was coming. There's Draw Lover Lala, amazing artwork. There's Sage or slash Ferret Fresh. She's really good with expressions. Definitely one of my definitely one of my inspirations for expressions for sure. Real Wheeljack, Cutie Tea Cat, not Cutie Cat. You're awesome too. And a bunch of others, and for more official artists, Evan Stanley, Adam Bryce Thomas. I could go on and on. You too, Leah. You too. You're a big inspiration of mine.
Oh, I'm flattered. That's really cool that you have a lot of inspirations. Like I get a lot of inspirations as well, you know. And sometimes, whenever you get inspiration from other fellow artists, sometimes they can influence and you come up with your own art style,
Oh yeah, for sure. Artists learn from each other.
Exactly. So that's really cool. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, okay. Here is another question from the chat from Dino Kaiju. Question: are there any other franchises that you want to draw aside from the Sonic franchise?
Oh wow. Goodness. Well, I do a thing that I do where I'll turn characters from other franchises into a more Mobian Sonic form, and I've done that with Crash Bandicoot a couple of times, and with Transformers too. So does that kind of count? I don't know.
I would say so.
Yeah, I would say that counts.
Cool.
Ooh, okay. Here is another question of mine. What programs do you use to do your artwork?
Okay, so programs wise, I use Procreate and an iPad and an Apple Pencil. Procreate is a really, really good art app. You have to pay for it, but it's an only one-time thing, and it's really worth it. It has a bunch of tools, and it's great. And when I'm doing my traditional art, just pencil, paper, pens, and some alcohol markers. That's all I need.
Wonderful. I love the way when you do the traditional and then you utilize the markers. Oh, you do it such a very great job with that.
Oh, thank you.
hmm Sydney, do you have another question for Boone?
Sure. Here's one from Kevin. My question for Boone is, what is it about Sally that made you become a big fan of her?
That's a good question. Well, there's a lot of things. I just really felt that she was different from a lot of the other females. She was, kind of that strong, independent character, and she cared so much about her kingdom, and kingdom? Yeah, I guess kingdom. And her people, and, she would do anything, and even if it did mean sacrificing her relationship with Sonic, and there's a lot more things. I could go on, but there's kind of the basis.
That's pretty cool. So you basically qualities,
Yeah.
her, she had to. It's basically like you said, she had to, sacrifice her relationship with Sonic, for the safety of her kingdom, and yeah, that's very difficult choices to do.
Yeah. And, I think she carries on a lot of guilt as well, losing a lot of comrades of hers. And yeah,
Ooh. Okay, so here's my next question. Do you have any advice for aspiring artists?
Ooh, wow. Okay. So don't compare yourself from them. Like I said, artists learn from each other, but don't compare yourself to them. You need to focus on you and what you're doing, because if you compare yourself too much, it's going to make you super insecure about your own artwork. And another thing is just keep practicing and learning. I know you're going to hear that a lot, but just look at your art and figure out what you need to improve on: anatomy, expressions, hands, dynamic posing, especially hands. And then absolutely research that thing you want to be more strong in, and just keep at it, keep doing it.
That is
Love that.
such great advice. Like I agree with all of the advice that you just gave, Boone. It's like, especially don't ever compare yourself to other artists, because it's like you said, it will make you feel insecure, and it might make you feel like, oh, I'll never be as great as these other artists. Just focus on yourself would be like the best way to be sure you don't ever compare yourself to other artists, who have been, doing art for a long time. And of course, we all heard the phrase like practice makes perfect. All of these artists started somewhere too.
Mhm.
So that is such great advice to give to aspiring artists. Yeah, but yeah, that's such great advice. Sydney, do you have another question?
I sure do. Actually, this was one that I had. Cutie Cat VA says, to Boone, what has been your favorite Sonic Rebel panel?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Every panel is just so amazing, and there's so much thought put into it, and all the people that just work on it is just amazing. But one that I've been in, if I'm assuming that's what you mean, is the baking with Amy, Blaze, and Cosmo panel. That one was really fun. It was just really chill. You know, we were just putting the flour and the eggs in the bowl, and we were just baking. Like, it was fun.
That is so, yeah, that one was fun.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Oh, thank you. You too, Sydney. Your voice for Blaze is just chef's kiss.
Oh, well, same to yours about Cosmo. And actually, on that note about Cosmo, tell me, like, when you're performing, like, how do you prepare for performing Cosmo before you go on to a panel? Just kind of behind the scenes kind of things.
Ooh, well, I drink water. You gotta get in that plant
Excellent.
vibe, you know. And you know, I really need to make sure that her voice stands out from my voice. Because I feel like they're both kind of just very light. So I need to make sure that I got it down. And you know, and then I'll watch a couple episodes. Well, not a couple. I'll just watch a little bit of some clips on YouTube because people just combine all the voice lines from her thing, from episodes that she's been in. So I'll just listen to a couple minutes of that just to extra make sure I got the whole vibe going on. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
And I understand that you've done a lot of study, like, on Cosmo, on performing for her, like studying her character and things like that. Tell me more about that. And what's your favorite, if you have something, what's your favorite thing about Cosmo that you like to portray when you're performing her?
Ooh, well, she's really kind, you know, and I really want to make sure I got that down. It's like, are you okay? Like, are you doing all right? Like, you know, and yeah, the funny thing is that I barely even knew that there was a season 3 of Sonic X because I was watching it on Netflix at the time when I first got into Sonic, and yeah, I think it was Netflix, and the 3rd season wasn't on there, so I barely knew who Cosmo was, and it was only the fan base that kind of introduced me to her. But when I auditioned for Cosmo, I was like, oh wait, yeah, I need to know who she is. So yeah, like you said, I really tried to study her every little thing, and yeah.
Ooh, wonderful. uh, okay. I have my next question for you, Boone, is how did you become interested in voice acting, and what inspired you to actually audition for Cosmo for Sonic Revo?
Well, how I got into voice acting. Well, I watched the Lego movie. I know that sounds really crazy, but I watched the Lego movie. And that was my first little and I cannot speak today. That was my first little introduction to voice acting, realizing that, whoa, yeah, someone voiced this character. I was very little at the time, so, you know, I didn't know that yet. And I started trying to mimic the characters' voices, especially Unikitty. But then a few years later, like I said, I watched Sonic X, and I started mimicking Sonic characters' voices, like Amy, Tails, and, you know, and then you get introduced to the fan base, and I saw these amazing, talented VAs like Sydney and Kelp and Ultimate, and, you know, just all these amazing VAs, and I was like, wait, like, I want to do that. Like, I really want to pursue this as another career other than art, you know? But yeah.
Wow, that's really amazing. That's amazing, Boone.
Thank you.
Wait. Um, Sydney, do you have another question for Boone?
Yeah, so Kelp said something in the last panel that I thought was a good term for this. So every character in Sonic Rebel has what we call a Revelism. It's kind of a little thing we add to the character that's unique to the Sonic Revolution universe. What are some things you added to Cosmo that you could call oh no, I just lost the term. A Revo something. What is it? What did I just say? Kelp, you might have to help me out.
Revo Flare.
Yes. What kind of Rebel flair did you add to your character?
Well, I gave her a little bit of sass. Because I'll be honest, sometimes it's a little hard voicing Cosmo, having to be all, really calm and all nice. But I just wanted to give like an extra little spice to her, to make it even more fun to play. So I added some sass, like, wait, what do you mean? Well, what do you mean Tails was married to Mina Mongoose? Like, but yeah, just add a little bit of sass to her.
I actually really like that because Cosmo is not. She is meek, but that doesn't mean she's not a fighter. I really, really like that.
She may be small, but she's venomous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I kind of like how you actually add a bit of your own spin to it too, while keeping the personality of the character as a whole, but you like to add like these interesting quirks. I would say to the character, and it just makes it a lot more fun to play.
Yeah, all the Revo cast does that, and I think that's something that's really awesome about Revo, is that we have such an amazing cast that aren't afraid to add that little extra flair,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Oh wait, I think I saw a question. Oh, okay, here is a question from MC Voices. Question for Boone. What has been your favorite project you've drawn for?
Ooh. Well, the ultimate voice actor, don't know if you heard of him. He's brought me on, my big brother brought me on for some, for some song covers, and even a comic to draw for, and all of those all the art that I've drawn for him and his channel, it's just really special to me. And that was the first time that I've got to do something like that with the Baby It's Cold Outside. I think that's the name of the song. That song cover artwork, that was really the opening of doing art for other people for me, and that was just really special. So
I love the ones that you do for Ultimate. Like I love that one, the Baby It's Cold Outside, and the one that you did for like his cover of Peaches, but it's like
yeah.
They're so cute and adorable.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how about here is my next question. Which Sonic characters do you like the most and why?
Well, I think we kind of touched upon that, but Sally. I also really like Silver. He's such a cute little fella. I also like Rouge. She's cool. I think she's really also pretty different from the rest of the cast. All the Freedom Fighters, really. I'm a sucker for them. I could name more and more, but and Cosmo, of course, and Tails. But I could go on and on. But
awesome. Sydney, do you have another question for Boone?
Sure do. Let's see. So, outside of drawing or voice acting, what's a fun fact about you that not a lot of people know?
Ooh, great question.
Well, I play a little bit of the piano. I'm still a noob at it, but my grandpa found a piano in an electric piano in our neighbor was getting rid of it, and they were just gonna throw it in the trash. It was absolutely brand new, and my whole life I always wanted to play an instrument, and piano was the top of the list, and like I was just blessed with just a free piano like completely brand new, and I'm not the best at it. I barely even know a full song except for Green Hill, but I'm learning.
That's awesome. Are you taking from a teacher? Are you doing kind of self-guided study, or how are you studying piano?
All self-guided and
Very
YouTube
cool.
YouTube videos, of course. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Ooh, okay. What is your favorite Sonic game?
Ooh. I really like Sonic and the Black Knight and Sonic Heroes. I haven't played Sonic Heroes, but the Wii, it is absolutely precious. So of course I've played Sonic and the Black Knight. I'm not a huge gamer. I'm not that good at video games at all, except for Wii Sports and Super Smash Brothers. But Sonic and the Black Knight, I just feel like it was really, really different. The whole King Arthur and all that stuff. It was just such a nice little, just random thing in the Sonic franchise. It's really fun. And with Sonic Heroes, it really shows off all those team dynamics, which I am such a sucker for. So.
Awesome.
Who's your favorite Sonic Heroes team?
Ooh.
Ooh. It's got to be a tie between Team Chaotix and Team Dark. They're just both pretty silly and goofy. I just love it.
Good choices. Both have some rad theme songs too.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I do agree. Like in Heroes, they do have very interesting dynamics. I still remember the beginning of like Team Dark. It's like, okay, Rouge is just like sneaking into just sneaking into Eggman's base, and then she finds Shadow, then frees him. And then for some reason Omega decides to shoot at Shadow and stuff, and then it goes into this brawl thing that's happening. It's like destruction in Eggman's base, and then Rouge just like breaks them up, and then she's like, "All right, let's go fight Eggman together." Like it was the funny. But I do agree they have like funny dynamics in Heroes, and
oh for sure.
So that. I do agree with you on that. It's just they have very funny dynamics in that game. And stuff. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Here is a question from basically Fun Floof, the cartoon. Any favorite locations from the Sonic series? Yeah, just asking favorite questions until I think of something new. Lol.
Ooh, Floof, hi Floof, hi. Floof is awesome. He's on top of every Sonic thing. But oof, man, he also comes with the crazy Sonic questions. I really like Emerald Coast, Emerald Town. It reminds me of the beach, which is, where I live. And those are just really nice. And, it's always fun to have like a whale jumping at you, trying to eat you, all that stuff. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Classic. Sorry, go ahead, Leah.
Oh no, you go ahead.
So here's one from Amadeus the cat. They say, "Hey there, Boon. My question for you is, if
he's the main villain and then Sonic just comes out of nowhere." I remember people went crazy when that happened.
Yeah.
it was like I can see why, but it's like I think no one was like expecting it, you know, at this point. But yeah, it's just yeah, Brawl's subspace emissary is just top notch.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Here is my next question. Are there any professional voice actors who inspired you to become a voice actor yourself? If so, can you name them?
Oh my. Yes, we're circling back to the Lego movie. A lot of the actors that worked on the Lego movie that voiced the characters, them for sure, and a lot of all the Sonic VAs. They're all so cool. All Sonic and Lego, all those voice actors. Yeah.
Nice. So it's basically the voice cast in the Lego movie. Nice.
Yeah.
And here's a question from the prankster Dubs. Question for Boon. What panel moments made you almost break out of character from laughing or anything really? And I hope you're having a lovely day today.
Oh, thank you. I hope you're having a lovely day too. Hopefully without throwing pies in anyone's faces today. But I gotta say, almost in every panel there's a funny moment, but that exploding pancreas one, that one was really good. There's a bunch more that I can't name at the moment, but that one's always that one never gets old.
Good times, good times.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Here is another question from Sushi Arts. What is an area of art you are strong in, and what is an area of art you are weak in? So basically, area of art you are strong in and area of art you are weak in.
Oof, okay. Leah, this was similar to one of your questions. The most area of art that I'm strong in, well, like I said, anything to do with the head, the expressions, the mouth, the eyes, anything that can, expressions. And then the area of art that I'm weak in, well, this can go for almost anyone unless you're like Picasso or something. Hands and really like fighting stances, fighting posing, really, really, really dynamic posing. Yeah.
Nice. That's really good. Let's see. Where is Okay, I'm trying to Ooh, okay. Here is another question that I have. What was the hardest artwork that you ever worked on?
Oh gosh, there's a lot that I had quite the struggle with, so I can't name exactly one off the top of my head. I don't know, there's always something with every artwork that is like, man, how do I do that? Yeah, I can't exactly think of one off the top of my head. Well, there is this one. And I was like, okay, is this gonna be like that like one moment from like the Little Mermaid where Ariel's like on a rock? Or like is this like she's supposed to just be like chilling on there? And then the tail like looked really weird in the water, and it was a mess.
Yeah.
But it turned out awesome, right?
I hope so. I mean, Ultimate didn't complain, so.
Then it was great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, I always like to ask that question, what's the hardest artwork? Because there's always something, whenever artists like are in the process or work in progress of doing like artworks, sometimes they kind of run into an obstacle like how should I do the background? Or how should I do how should I do the character's pose? Should it be this way, that way, So I think it really gives you like very interesting insight.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
And yeah, that I find that but that's pretty interesting to know that's the hardest artwork that you've ever worked on.
Is there a piece that you are currently working on that you're really excited about?
Ooh. Oh man. Well, remember when I mentioned those freedom fighters in one big drawing?
Yes.
I've been brainstorming that for a while, and for a long time, and finally I'm starting to get the motivation to do it. So, yeah. I guess like yeah.
Awesome. I'm super excited to see how that turns out, Boon.
Oh, thank you.
I am always anticipating what your next artwork is of how it's going to turn out and everything.
Oh, thank you, you guys.
Oh, looks like we got another question from the audience, from Dino Kaiju. How did you come up with the username Sonic Boon?
Ooh, I want to know.
Okay, so I'm gonna blame this one on my mom. Actually, my mom was making my Discord account for the 2021 online Sonic convention, Sonic Revo convention, of course. And we were trying to. She was like, "Okay, well, what's your like name gonna be?" I'm like, "Oh, Supersonic Speedy Productions," and she's like, "No, that's weird. Don't do that. Not that. You're gonna do something even cooler." And then I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "Well, aren't the like Sonic Boom writers gonna be there?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," and like, "You should have your name be Sonic Boon with an N because this is common knowledge at this point because so I'm not scared of saying it too much, but my last name is Boon, so she's like, yeah, what if you just do that?" I'm like, "Okay," and then maybe you'll get a laugh out of them. So now that's just my username.
Oh,
Cool, I love that.
Oh,
yeah. I know sometimes we even confuse it too. Sometimes when we like slip the word, when we're trying to say Sonic Boom, we say Sonic Boom.
Yes, like me in the last panel.
And
it's kind of just a curse. Like when you meet me, you can't say Sonic Boom right anymore.
oh my gosh. Oh, here is another question from Rockstar75 Productions. I have a question. How long have you been an artist for? Sorry that it took me a while. I was so busy thinking about stepping on crops. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, Kevin's gonna get you for that. Kevin in the chat, we got a person right here. How long have I been an artist for? Well, I mean, I'm not gonna count when I was like making random lines and saying it was roller coasters when I was 4. So I'm gonna say, ever since I was maybe 6, that's when I really started getting into art. And there was these little toys that were called Littlest Pet Shops. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I watched people were making like little stories on YouTube with them, and to younger me, that was like, oh my goodness, cute animals, and there's this like story connected. Hello. So So then I started drawing the little animals, and then, you know. And then Sonic came in, and I was like, wait, that's kind of the same thing. Colorful animals with a story connected? Sign me up.
I love that, Vicky. That's adorable. I gotta admit, it's like a lot of animals. They're like the colors of the rainbow.
Yeah.
That's just adorable. Ooh, okay. Here is. Ooh, okay. Here's my next question for you, Boone. Are there any Sonic characters you relate to in terms of their personality?
Oh my goodness. That's so funny. I was thinking about this the other day, and it's because I was kind of reflecting back on the first Revo panel that I've done. Thank you, Kevin, by the way. Kevin is the man, the myth, the legend. Like, it's his fault that I'm a part of this. Thank you so much. Well, when I say fault, it sounds like a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's something that absolutely means the world to me. But the first panel, which was the younger Sonic fans, and a question was this exact same question, and I said the most. I don't know. I thought my response to it was really weird. So now I'm gonna come up with a better response now. I have to say Cream, actually. She's really innocent. And I'm innocent, so.
Oh. Yeah.
Cream inspires people. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Leah.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Like whenever we're in a VC with you, Boone, yeah, you are like Cream. You are so innocent.
Like, what is like, I don't know. I don't even know slang.
Sydney, do you have a question for Boone?
Yeah, so you've been attending Sonic Revo conventions, the live conventions. What was one of your favorite memories from that?
Oh my goodness. Oh, there's so many. Just like the entire experience. Oh. Well, just the overall just being around the people that I could really relate with, and the people that are so talented and people that I really look up to, like Sydney and Yulia, and all the Revo cast, and a lot of the audience, and just overall members. It's just so amazing, and I don't know if this counts as a memory, but just there's just so many memories that can fit into that category. I'll just say the category.
Totally. I think one of my favorites, we were with Ultimate, and when our actors are together, we'll start improvising just randomly. And I think so it was you as Cosmo and I as Tails, and then I was Tails, excuse me, and then Ultimate was our Starline, and Boone and I teamed up and we just fried Ultimate Starline. We just went at him, and it was great. I think we were in the middle of an ice cream shop when that happened.
We were at like Baskin Robbins or something.
I don't know what those employees thought. They were probably like, "What is happening?" But yeah, you killed it. It was awesome. Good times.
You too, Sydney.
Such good time.
That was a fun time. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite ones was like when you guys did it for this year's Revo in person, and I think Sydney, you and Ultimate were like going at it for like maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, we were snipping at each other like no other. It was great.
And I know at one point that's still the most memorable thing was that literally Ultimate in his Starline voice literally told Boone in her Cosmo voice, "Oh yeah, Tails is cheating on you with a cactus."
Oh my goodness.
That part made me like laugh like so hard when he said that.
And then you could. Oh, go ahead, Leah. Go ahead.
and then I think what was it? It was I think you came by, and then like I think Boone, you said in your Cosmo voice, like Starline told me that you're cheating on me with a cactus, and he said, "What did you tell her?"
You
like-
played right into it. It was great.
Oh my gosh. That was so amazing. Like I think that was one of my favorite memories with you two in Ultimate. And
It's always fun to get like a group of the Sonic Revo cast, and we just go. And Boone, you just like dive right in. I think that's something that I really admired. Like you just go for it, and I think, and that's you have to do that with improv, and you nail it. You do such a great job.
Oh, thank you. You too, Sydney, and the whole Revo cast. Just you guys are just
You fit right in.
Aw, thank you.
oh my gosh. But yeah, that was yeah, like behind the scenes we have like so much fun.
Yeah.
You just never know what's gonna happen behind the scenes.
Well, and speaking of behind the scenes, Boone, do you have any other memories like behind the scenes? Like I know we do a lot of out of panel rehearsals, or we'll be in the green room before we perform. Like, do you have a favorite memory or a memory that you thought was really fun, or any behind the scenes stories for Revo?
Oh, okay. So there's this one when we were rehearsing for, I think it was Blaze's book club, and Shadow and Ultimate was playing Shadow this time. And I forget the entire context, but I think it was like, oh wait, Cosmo can go super? And then you as Blaze, you're like, well yeah, like you were there. To Shadow, and you're like, what? I was just busy like shooting up a tree. I don't know. That just that's a time when I went out of character. That's really good.
Oh.
There's so many rehearsals that that go awesome.
Yeah.
We could just make a whole series of behind the scenes rehearsals of improvising behind the scenes. That's a good one.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I think here is another question from the audience. Here's from Cutie Cat VA. If you could pick a favorite Sonic IDW arc, which one would you pick? Ooh.
My favorite Sonic IDW arc, is that one? Yeah?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Easy, Metal Virus. It was just nothing like that has ever happened in the Sonic franchise. Like really like that dark before, I feel. And that was just crazy to see, and seeing these strong characters just breaking down. That was just really just wow.
Yeah, like it really delved deep into the characters' relationships in that arc when you think about it.
Oh, for sure.
I think I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but they actually literally did a reference to Miraculous during the Metal Virus arc. I'm not sure if you caught that.
Yeah. It was during one of the annuals at the time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was.
It was yeah.
I was so shocked that they literally did a reference to those two characters of all things, but yeah, that truly shocked me when I saw that. I was like, ooh, okay. Sydney, do you have another question for Boone?
Yeah, so Fun Floof the cartoon asks, out of any of the Sonic characters, or any of the Sonic the Hedgehog continuities, excuse me, that you know, who's a character you don't know much about that you would like to learn more of? So essentially from any Sonic universe, what's a character you'd like to know more about?
Ooh, Techno. Techno from the Fleetway comics. I've heard so much about her, and I just haven't gotten the chance to like really research into her. So.
Oh,
She's cool. She's a really cool character.
Isn't she like Amy's best friend in that one? I think.
Yes, I think so. She's kind of like Tails. She's their on-site engineer.
That's cool. I know Mitoon, she plays a big part, Techno, she plays a really big part in Sonic Villains.
Yeah, she does. That's awesome.
Nice. That was a really interesting answer. Ooh, okay. Here's another question from Amadeus the cat. Let me ask a different question. How would you feel if someone decided to ask you for an animation collab, like one of those many reanimated collabs?
I'd be scared. Like I do not have the patience to animate. Okay, I tried that once and I just couldn't do it. I didn't have the patience.
I can vouch for that. Like I've taken animation classes like both 2D and 3D. Animating takes patience, and I can piggyback on that answer that Boon just said. I know animation takes patience and time. So I can agree with that.
Big props to people that animate, because like, man, you have a lot of patience.
Oh, okay. Here is. Oh, I got an interesting question for you, Boon. Which Disney song would fit the Sonic character you voice and why?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my goodness. Oh. That's hard. That's really hard. Oh, wow. I don't know if I have an answer to that one because there's just so many like Disney songs. I'm just whoa. How about you, Sydney, Leah? Do you guys have an answer for that?
Oh, for Cosmo? Man, I need to think about that too. Well, she's a very determined character, and she fights for what she believes in. But she's so meek and gentle at the same time.
Yeah.
I need to think on this. I guess. Well, I'm sure I'm gonna come up like I'm gonna wake up at 3 a.m. and like that song, but at the time, like some of the songs from Moana where she's like singing about her family and like she's all alone, but she's just trying to desperately do what's right, even with all the odds against her. So maybe one of those songs.
That's so good.
Ooh, yeah. I would think maybe how far I'll go would probably be would fit Cosmo. Like, yeah, I would think how far I'll go would definitely fit Cosmo.
Oh, and MC says the colors of the wind.
Oh,
man.
Colors of the Wind, nice. Or I would say another good one would be like Reflection from Mulan, actually.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I say for me that takes the cake.
Yeah, because like you know how like Cosmo like evolves in season 3. You know, she's like, you know, she kind of feels like, oh no, I feel like I'm burdening, you know, my friends, you know. And kind of like if you kind of do the similarity with Mulan, you know how in the story, you know, she has to be, you know, she has to be, I guess, ready to be a bride, you know. And as we kind of see, she, you know, she ended up failing, you know, being a bride, you know. And So I can kind of see the similarities between Cosmo and Mulan in that sense.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe Reflection from Mulan could fit Cosmo.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
You guys are way better at this than I am. Sorry, Cindy, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was all I was saying. I would agree with that. She, like her self esteem was so low, but she always absorbed herself in trying to help her family. And then, but in helping her family, she eventually found herself with her, like her friends and her family. They helped see the value inside of herself. That's a good one.
Sydney, do you have a question for Boone?
Yeah, so when you're improving these characters, you have to really deep dive into the characters. You have to know them very intimately. And I would say, like, what are some traits about Cosmo that you didn't pick up on when you were, like, watching the show or, like, initially studying about her, but, like, deep diving into her character to prepare to improv and perform as her? What did you learn that you didn't catch on to earlier?
Oh my goodness. That's wow. That's a good question. And actually the reason how I found this out is because of you, Sydney, because I needed help, a little extra help with, completely figuring her out, and you had this whole thing written down. I'm like, oh wow, thanks.
I was ready. If you can't tell, I'm a big Cosmo fan.
And it was how, like, her, animals were just a whole new, like, thing to her. And and males too in general, because her father and all that jazz and all that, and it was all just females where she was from. Well, not where she was from, but when she was born. And yeah, I didn't really pick up on that. I was like, whoa, like, that is true. Like,
The fuck?
Pretty interesting.
I think that, like, really speaks to how brave she had to be. Thus, going back to, like, Reflection, she's like this whole entire new realm that she doesn't even know a clue about. And yeah, you do such a great job.
Thank you.
Oh, here's a question from another question from Sushi Arts. What do you think life would be like without being a VA in Revo? Oh.
Life would be boring.
Hey, that person found to actually help him get into the cafe early before I know.
I think I'd be very less confident and a little lonely, actually, because I've made all these new friends and they've helped me feel a lot more confident in my talents and all that, and plus all the fun we have together. Life would just be a little, just a tad boring. Without all those fun memories and all that.
Oh, yeah, like, yeah, it would definitely feel different,
Yeah. And just being a part of Revo, like, if this didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have gotten as far as I am now. I probably would have dropped out of voice acting a long time ago. And yeah. So thank you, you guys. You guys are amazing and talented.
Oh, you're amazing too, Boone.
Fit right in.
Ooh, okay. Here is my next question. What do you think is the most challenging part for you when you do artworks? Like, it can be like when you initially come up with the idea or the coloring, or it could be anything. So what is the most challenging part for you when you do artworks?
The first thing you named. Initially coming up with the idea. Art block and not like a week ago, it really hit me hard. I had no idea what to draw because, you know, with my art, I want to make sure I'm doing something at least semi-original. You know, just do these fun character interactions, kind of like what we do with Revo. You know, having these characters that probably would have never met, you know, in canon, and have them meet and all these fun interactions. You know, sometimes, you know, that's what I like to do with my art too. But sometimes it's hard to think of stuff. So
It's like basically just the initial like idea, like art suggestion idea.
yeah,
Art block is the worst thing.
yeah,
All of us artists can agree that's one of the worst things when you don't have an idea. Or I think another part that's worse is that you have it in your head, but you can't get it down on paper. You know?
yeah.
It's either art block or that. So like art block is really bad. I've experienced it several times.
It is not fun.
It isn't. Like but I would say the best way to like
Damn. I
the
thought
best
like
way
you say
to
that.
calm
Damn.
that artist block is kind of like I remember when I took like art classes and when I was studying at university, is that get some creative direction. You know, get like, oh, you want the characters to do this, like maybe write them down, you know, and then that can give you some creative direction on how to get into the next step of in the process of actually drawing it, because I've done that to be able to combat my artist block.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Mm-hmm. So it's but that's but yeah, artist block is the worst.
Yeah, it takes hours of scrolling on Pinterest just to get like one idea.
Speaking of art, here's a question from Amadeus the cat. Here's another question. What's an art form someone showed you that you gained a new appreciation for?
Oh, Amadeus, you knew what you were doing with this one. You know, you taught me an appreciation for pixel art, actually. You know, ever since I really met Amadeus, because he does pixel art a bunch, and he's really good at it. And, you know, before I met him, I was like, oh, it's just pixels. You know, it's like, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, done, voila, easy. But really, it's not. There's a lot of thought and a lot of effort put into it. And if I didn't meet Amadeus, I probably wouldn't have a big appreciation for pixel art as I do now.
A lot of the characters too, and I was like, wow. Like it looks like they kind of straight came out of the 8-bit era.
Wow, was this year or?
It was like a previous year I went to Sonic Revo.
Oh.
I don't know the artist's name, but they did pixel art. Like they brought it like it felt like they just jumped out of the 8-bit era. And I was so impressed. I was like,
wow.
Like it was really impressive. So I can definitely see the appreciation for pixel art.
Yeah.
Sydney, do you have another question?
Let's see. Let me check. So, what are some more things you would like to incorporate into your artwork in the future?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and this question is from Sushi Arts.
Sushi? Oh, that's a toughie. I'm not sure right now because I'm just trying to. I'm really not sure at the moment. Actually, that's something. Thank you for putting that in my mind, though. I should really be thinking about that.
Very, very interesting. Okay, here is my next question for you, Boon. Which other Sonic media are your favorites other than the Archie Sonic comics?
Ooh, well, the IDW comics, of course. You know, like I love Archie and everything, and I've read almost all the issues. But with IDW, I also have a great respect and for, and yeah, it may not have Sally in it or Cosmo or any of those freedom fighters or anything like that, but I think it's because there's only so few issues. I could really just really breathe in all the content that are in the IDW comics because it's just the beginning, and with Archie there's a lot. There's like 200 and something, so it's kind of a lot to take in, but with IDW it's just starting out, so
Do you have a favorite character from IDW?
ah it's a tie between Whisper and Lanolin.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. I think like Whisper's pretty unique because of her like weapon of choice. And
Oh yeah, and plus her overall personality. It's like all the other characters, like, oh yeah, woohoo, all bombastic and super, like, But she's just, she's calm. She's quiet, but yet she's so expressive.
hmm Like, I kind of like how they actually alluded to it. I think when they had to, in that story arc where they had to reclaim Angel Island or something. And then, like, I think Amy told Blaze about, she kind of alluded to Blaze being shy at first too. So that was a really, that was a really great callback.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
And I'm kind of like, oh yeah, Blaze and Whisper are like similar in personality when you think about it. So I can definitely so I can definitely see why Amy was like, alluding to Blaze being shy when he first met them and stuff. So I'm like, I like this. Let's see.
Well, speaking of other Sonic media, and you started out with Sonic X, what's your favorite episode or scene from that show?
Oh, I like this question.
Well, this is gonna sound a little depressing, but when Cosmo passed away, like the music started rolling, and and then she was like, I'm always gonna be here," and it was just really touching. It was really good.
Are you speaking about the English dub or the Japanese dub?
Both.
Or both? Both, yes. That was a gut-wrenching part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it hits harder in the Japanese dub because Hikaru Michi is just playing when that happens. Like, no. Like it just hits harder in the Japanese version of Sonic X. But yeah, like because I know I felt sorry for Tails. Like I felt his pain, and like yeah, like I felt his pain. I'm just like, oh man, it's like but that's pretty interesting. Yeah, like Cosmo's sacrifice is definitely heart-wrenching,
Yeah. And I could just be being biased because I
love that for
you.
Do you have a favorite character in Sonic X?
Okay, now I'm gonna be extra biased. Other than Cosmo, I really like how Amy was. Lisa Ortiz, just her voice for Amy is just I love Lisa Ortiz's voice for Amy. It's really good. I think it really perfectly portrays Amy. And yeah. Leah got to meet Lisa. Oh, I'm jealous.
Yes. Yeah, this past 4 days, I think it was on Friday, I went to a panel that Lisa Ortiz was doing at San Diego Comic-Con. And the panel was called Breaking into VO for Anime, and she was one of the VAs and one of the panelists there. And then right after the panel, the VAs were taking photos with fans, and I got to chat with her a bit, and I got a photo with her. So, but yeah, I do love her Amy voice. I grew up with her Amy voice, and getting to meet her was just surreal.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite scene with Amy in Sonic X?
Ooh. Well, the one that I can think of on top of my head, which I think was a really interesting and silly interaction, was the first episode that she appeared in when she was, I think she was like underground with Knuckles. Not Sonic Underground, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and they were just arguing. It's like I don't think you've really ever have seen Amy and Knuckles like really just go back to back like that until Sonic X. Not that I know of.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice. Ooh, here is another question from Sushi Arts. If you ever joined a platform like Twitter, it's basically rebranded as X, Instagram, YouTube, etc., what type of content would you share / promote? Great question.
Well, yeah, a really good question. Well, my art, voice acting, and then, of course I'd plug Revo in there. Yeah. Yep.
Well, going off of the shows and different universes of Sonic, there was one question in here, and I just lost it, but essentially it said, what do you think about the Sonic movies? Oh, this is from Dino Kaiju. Do you have any favorite scenes or things you liked in the movies?
Ooh, with the Sonic movies? Oh, those are good. Those are really good. The second one is I think is better than the first. The first felt like it was just a movie with Sonic in it, but it was still good. The first one was still really good, but the second, that one was just really incorporated a lot of Sonic elements in there, and then you had Tails, he looked extra fluffy, and then Knuckles, and then having all those interactions. It was great. It was really great.
Nice. I think one of my favorite interactions was like, I forgot where Sonic and Tails were, but they were at this, I think they were like, I forgot the scene, but I know like right after they did that dance off thing, like Tails puts his like tails around Sonic to keep him warm.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that scene was adorable.
It was. Oh. Brotherly love.
Yeah, that part was adorable. That's got to be like my favorite scene from the movie too. Ooh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Leah.
Oh, no, go ahead, Sydney.
So, Boone, if you had a chance to voice another Sonic character or another character altogether, who would it be?
Just like specifically in Revo or just in projects or
anything?
Okay. Oh goodness, there's a lot of characters that I enjoy voicing. It's got to be a tie between Amy, Styx, and Sally. Actually, I really enjoy voicing them.
Really?
Yeah.
And is there a particular reason for why those characters?
Well, Sally, she's like my favorite character, and she's just. I think there would be a lot of emotional scenes that would go along if I were to voice her in a project, so that just seems really fun. And Amy, she's just really energetic, and so she'd seem really fun to play. And Styx is just. She's the best, okay? She's one of the best.
This is great.
Oh yeah. I still remember when Ultimate played the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog and he did that live stream. You did your Amy voice and I was like, oh, your Amy sounds so cute.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Doom, she's the VA for Amy and Revo, and she does such a spectacular job. I love her Amy too.
Yeah.
Doom is awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Doom, the meme queen.
Yeah.
We love you, Doom.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Yeah, your Amy voice is really cute though when you actually because we literally did like voice acting for Ultimate's walkthrough of Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, gosh, thanks. That means so much.
Yes, I love it. I love the Lisa Ortiz twist.
Yay.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was so much fun to do that stream. to voice the characters in that. It was just so much fun to do that.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I have this great question. How does it feel to be able to build amazing chemistry with, of course, with Sydney when it comes to teasing Tails and Cosmo in the Sonic Revolution panels?
Oh, oh my goodness, Sydney, you have to help me answer this too.
Oh.
Sydney is just so awesome, and she is so sweet and so talented.
Aw.
She's so fun to work with, and like sometimes there's just these moments and panels towards like my brain just like malfunctions, and she just saves me. Like she probably doesn't even know it, but she does.
Oh. Oh, we all have those moments. Don't worry,
Yeah.
Boon.
And then, like, you know, at the very beginning, when I first got casted as Cosmo, I was still really struggling on really getting the hang of her. And, you know, Sydney was just there to help me out, and that just means so much to me.
Oh, it was my pleasure. It was so much fun. Tails and Cosmo, they're so fun because they're like the epitome of what a healthy relationship should be.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's kind of fun to like build the character chemistry around that. And you do such a great job, Boon. It's awesome. They're such fun characters.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they really are.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Hey. Let's see. Do you have any other questions for Boone, Sydney?
Let's see. Are there any conventions that you would like to go to but haven't had the chance to yet?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, I'm not too knowledgeable on all the Sonic conventions that are going on, so I'm just gonna base off of what I've been hearing from Leah and Radar, because they seem to have been having an amazing time at Comic-Con. That just seems really fun.
Oh yes. Yeah, it was pretty cool for this year's Comic-Con actually, because I'm pretty sure most of you have heard they announced the Sonic Speed Cafe. I think they literally did the grand opening like a week before Comic-Con happened. And I was lucky enough to go there and actually try the food, and oh gosh, they did such a great job with the decor inside the cafe. We did go to there was an autograph signing with Takashi Iizuka. Iizuka was there for like I think 2 days for signings, and then I think Evan Stanley was there on Saturday, I believe, for a signing. And then you can take photos with the Sonic mascot, and my very good friend, was basically the handler for the mascot. So, but yeah, it was such a superb superb cafe that they did. But it will be there from like until August 20, I think, from to my knowledge.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Hmm. So that was so that was pretty fun. Yeah, it was a big year. They had a panel at the convention center and they had the cafe going on. And of course, they did actually have the demo of Sonic Superstars at the Lego booth, and Radar and I both tried it too. It's really good, and everything. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you guys had such a fun time. And
Okay, here is my next question for you, Boone. What challenges have you faced in your voice acting and as an artist, and how have you overcame them?
okay, so with voice acting, I've always had a lot of trouble voicing certain characters or just getting accepted in projects because my voice is pretty high. um, and so when I try to play more deeper or more adult sounding characters, my voice always shines through and just doesn't do them justice. Um, and I've finally decided, like, yeah, I think it's best that if an opportunity comes up where someone's like, hey, can you voice this more adult or um, deeper voicing sounding character, then yeah, I'll take it. But, for now, just, if I were to audition for anything, I'm just going to stick with the characters that are a little more in my range until I'm older and my voice gets deeper.
How about the aspect of being an artist?
Yeah. So for a long time, I had the struggle of, in a lot of my drawings, it would just be the same pose for every character, every drawing. I only had like 3 poses, and that was it. And the way I got through that was I just went out of my comfort zone and tried other dynamic poses or just it doesn't even have to be super duper dynamic, just different, just like standing poses, and that really got me out of that habit.
Wonderful. That's so great how you decided, okay, maybe when I'm a bit older, maybe my voice range will be able to be, a lot larger, you know.
Yeah.
That's really some great insight on that.
Thank you.
Ooh, okay. Here's another question from Radar. Certain creatives at Sega have been trying to bring the Freedom Fighters back in some way, shape, or form. How would you try to bring them back? Well, having them fit in the status quo of Sonic. Ooh, that's a really great question.
Oh man. See, I told you, Foof always comes up with these crazy questions. So how I would do it, and I think it would be easier instead of just bring them back in the more classic, like how they're doing superstars in games, and there was the more classic comics that IDW does every once in a while. I think that'd be a good, maybe a little bit easier way of bringing the Freedom Fighters back. Because I know Ian's just going off of some of the Freedom Fighters' cameos in Sonic Spinball, and that's really basically all he's really going off of last time I checked. And since that's more classic, that's a classic game, I think that would work with a more classic area of Sonic. So.
Mm.
And then I'm sure you'd have to only stick with their SatAM personalities and all that. And you can't touch the Archie comics, which is the sad thing because Bunny and Antoine, Um,
Um,
but yeah. So
Ooh.
thank you, Floof, for educating me on all the stuff that Ian says.
Sydney, do you have another question for Boone?
Yeah, actually, another behind the scenes question. So I know you have some rebellisms with Cosmo, and one of them, as I understand, is actually how you approached how Cosmo eats. Can you tell us about it?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. um. Well, she tries to avoid eating anything that's plant, super plant-like. So she'll usually go for what's the word? Darn. My brain. She'll go for another option. But if it absolutely comes down to it, like, oh, there's like flour in this, then yeah, okay, that's fine. She doesn't completely restrict herself, but she tries her best to try not to eat or climb.
So can she still eat Amy's strawberry shortcake?
Yeah, she can. She can.
What would, if you were to ask Cosmo now, what would be her favorite food to eat?
Ooh.
Ooh, well. Since she's really into baking, I'm sure it'd be some kind of pastry or sweet, for sure.
That's
Ooh.
awesome.
Nice.
And I guess building on top of that, tell us about the equipment you use when you voice act. Usually that's a really common question for people, like how do I start? What microphone should I get, or what should I do? So what is your equipment?
Oh boy. Well, definitely not super duper professional. Probably not what I should be using to do voice acting, but this is just for what I'm using right now. I want to upgrade. But right now I'm kind of in the process of moving, so it's kind of hard to be able to just upgrade right now, but I have my iPad, right? And then I have a microphone, and it's not USB or XLR. Yeah, I know. It's a type that can go into a headphone jack, but then I got a new tablet, so now I have this extra extension to get it into this tablet, and then there's this recording app on the iPad that comes with the iPad, so I'll use that. And yeah, I know. Cashlyn has called me out for it. She was like, "Yeah, you're lucky. I root for the underdog." This is just what I have for right now.
That's okay. That's a-okay.
Yeah, and it's been treating me well for right now. So, yeah.
Good.
Ooh, okay. I have a question. And my next question for you, Boone, is: are there any similar personality traits you have with with Cosmo?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Do you have any similar personality traits you have with Cosmo?
Ooh, yeah. There's a couple. She's always really trying her best, and I try my best too. And she's also really determined. And whenever there's a friend or family in need, I always am very determined to make them feel better at all costs. Like yeah. And she's overall a very kind, kind gal, and I try my best to be kind too. So yeah.
Oh, I always love how you check on us, Boone. I appreciate that.
We can always count on you to really encourage everybody, and if somebody's having a bad day, you're first in line to make them feel better.
Oh, thank you. Oh. That means a lot, really. Those are gonna make me cry.
Yeah, you're always checking on every like the Revo staff and VAs, and we always appreciate when you check in, how
We
we are
really
just
are.
like one big fan.
One big
Yes.
Revo family.
Yeah, like I think when you yeah, like the personality traits that you name, that you have similar personality traits with Cosmo, you really do fit all of the ones that you named.
Aw.
Especially from for how long I've known you. I'm like, yes.
Aw. You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
You're amazing, Boone.
That is true. You bring a lot of light to our cast.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm glad.
And I guess speaking of Revo, excuse me, there are a lot of different character combos that are put together. The joke is you can put any two Sonic characters in a room and something will happen. And so, that being said, what would be a character you think it would be cool for Cosmo to meet or interact with?
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
I've said this many times over and over again. Cosmo and Styx. I need them. I need them to meet. I need them to interact.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think would happen?
Oh. Are you an alien? No. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. It'd just be great.
That's true. After what she did to Silver that one panel, I'm sure I don't even know what would happen. An explosion, a conniption. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds about right. Probably Styx would think Cosmo's an alien or something. I wouldn't really be surprised if that's what Styx, like, actually, if Styx and Cosmo had an interaction.
Do you think they would become friends? Or do you think
skeptical still?
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, because I can tell like Styx is a character where it's like, okay, you're not easily going to win my trust. It's kind of like you need to earn it.
Yeah.
So. Ooh, okay. Here is another question that I have. Do you listen to music or have any other type of background noise while you
I'm
make
always
art, or do you
listening to
prefer
something. Either it
complete
be like my
silence?
brother like making weird noises or my mom rambling about something, But sometimes I like to draw while I'm in a VC, with you guys or other people. And sometimes I'll have like a YouTube video playing in the background. Sometimes having a YouTube video is just a little bit dangerous because then I'll get sucked into that. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm not in much of a rush. Music, I never really got the chance to play music really while I'm drawing. I haven't tried that before, but I probably should. I want to see if it would affect anything.
Pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, because I always love listening to music. Like, funny enough, when I do a lot of Son Amy artworks, especially if they're like Miraculous inspired, I listen to Miraculous music.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, that artwork I did with like Sonic giving Amy the umbrella, I just listened to the In the Rain music from Miraculous because it's highly inspired from that scene in season 1 of Miraculous. So I think yeah, like with me, I always love listening to music or listening to like people's videos on YouTube or podcasts, you know.
Oh, cool.
Hmm. But that's pretty interesting. Ooh, okay. Oh, go ahead, Sydney.
So what was something that you learned about acting that you didn't really know before you were brought on to Revel or started pursuing voice acting? What was something that surprised you that you learned?
Well, that you can really go all out, you know, with emotional scenes for sure. Thank you, Sydney.
Oh,
You know, I was always really scared to go all out. And I was like, is this too much? But no, there is no such thing as too much. You just do it.
yeah. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable with those emotions when you're portraying a character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big lesson to learn. Don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Ooh, here is my next question for you, Boone. Who are some of your favorite Sonic artists?
Ooh, like official, like really in Sonic artists?
Like, you know, kind of like the fan artists, you know, that you've noticed that like, oh, this is pretty amazing, you know, like it could be also if they inspired your art style too, you know,
Oh,
so
okay. So, okay. Well, there's an artist by the name Sage slash Ferret Fresh. She's gone by a lot of different things, so I'm just going with the one she has now. She has really good artwork, and she really helped me get the hang of like drawing silver because I always had like a problem with his big old fronds on the top of his head. um, and just seeing the way she drew it, she really simplifies it, and it's like, okay, like I get that, I get it now. And also her expressions are really good too. And there's Draw Lover Lala. Oh my goodness, she's been an inspiration to me for a long time, like ever since I got into Sonic, really. 'Cause her art's all over the place. Her art is really cute too, and it's just um Real Wheeljack too. He makes really amazing art. A really dear friend of mine as well. And then there's Domestic Maid. She has really good art too, and she just adds all these little like sparkles onto her art. It just gives it a whole another vibe. It's really cute, and I can name more and more. And you too, Leah. Your art is really cute. You make a lot of cute Son Amy stuff and all that jazz. It's really cute.
Oh. But Maid, yeah, I can agree. Domestic Maid does such a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Like her art style is so vibrant, you know, it's like it brings out the bright colors. Like
Oh.
and everything. Oh, here's a question from Dolius. Is there any Sonic merch that you really want but is difficult to get due to its price? Ooh.
Hey, Dolius. He's a Revo mod. So is Sushi and Rainboom and yeah. All really amazing people. That is a really, really good question. I don't know if comics can really count as merch. Sorry if you guys hear my dog in the background. He just yawned. But there's a lot of Archie comics, and it's just so hard to find. It's really hard to find, and when you do find it, people have it up for so expensive because they're a little rare nowadays. So yeah, I'd have to say those.
Yeah, like I've noticed that it is hard to find Sonic Archie comics now. It's like even if you do find them, yeah, people just up the price because that's how rare they are now.
Yeah.
So I can definitely agree. It's like, yeah. um I was like so surprised. I was like, well, I guess because they're no longer making the Archie comics for Sonic, so it makes a lot of sense why they're rare and scarce and hard to find.
Yeah. And like I know you can just read them online, but it's like, sometimes having it in your hands just nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like I want to flip through the pages physically.
I want to feel the crisp of the paper.
Sydney, do you have another question for Boone?
I sure do. What would you tell someone if they told you they were interested in voice acting?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. I'm saying this out of full honesty, not just because I'm trying to plug Revo or anything. This is just completely like, something that really helped me. It was just listening to the Revo panels actually and all the people they have on board. You can just learn so much from just listening to them. Like really good clarity, emotion, all you can learn a lot, not exactly on the technical side because, during like a character panel, they're not being like, oh yes, I'm using a USB mic while I'm doing this, yeah. But, really you can just learn a lot just by listening to the character panels.
Nice.
We are very lucky to have such solid actors on in Revo. Like there's so many amazing Andrew, Corin, Ultimate Kelp. Those people come to mind. But yeah, I'm with you, Boone. When I listen in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I learned so much. So I'm with you on that. That's a great way to start. Good answer.
And then, there's also, of course, like a bunch of videos on YouTube that are, really like educational on voice acting as well. So there's that too. But, And also one more thing I want to add to the like what artists inspire you question. Also Sushi in the chat too. She makes really amazing art. She's also an inspiration of mine.
Aww.
But, yeah.
Nice. Ooh, okay. Okay, here is my next question. Where can people find you and your work?
Ooh, well, you can find me on Discord. You can find me in the Revo server and any other servers that I'm in. Because I'm not exactly I'm not posting videos on YouTube or I'm not on Twitter or any other social medias except for Discord. So it's a little hard to find me. I'm trying to figure that out too. But yeah, you can find me on Discord.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Let's see.
Boone, tell us about your Sona.
Ooh.
You are entering into some uncharted waters. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Yeah, you got it.
But okay, so I'm gonna dive back into Littlest Pet Shops. I mentioned that earlier. And actually originally what I wanted to do was do YouTube and play with little toys with those toys, make stories with them on YouTube because people were making money just by doing that. And my little Sona for that was a red fox. And then, I originally dropped that. But I've always really liked foxes my entire life. And then Sonic, appeared and I was, people were making OCs. So like, oh, I want to do that. And so, of course, I was like, well, my OC is going to be a fox, of course. And then Mike almost fell. And then I have brown, longish hair. I was like, okay, I'll just slap that on there too. My favorite color is mint green, so I gave her a little bit of mint green. And I'm not exactly girly, so I'm gonna give her some more athletic, sporty wear. And then that's really that. And, you know, I don't want her to be this so, like, super powered, like, OC, like a lot of OCs are. I just want her to be me, you know?
I love that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, here's one. Here's a question, another question from Dino Kaiju. How is it for you doing redraws of the Revo cast with either their OCs or characters that they voice as, like you as Cosmo, Sydney as Tails, etc.?
Ooh, I think I've done that a few times. I want to do it more. It's really fun. I love doing it. It's so much fun. And the Revo cast, they have really, all of them have really interesting and cool OCs. It's just fun to draw. I like drawing OCs. They're just so silly.
I think my favorite one that you did was when we took that picture with Pete Capella. That
Oh,
group
yeah.
photo. That one was my favorite.
I can quickly find it and I can screen share it really quick if you'd like.
Oh, absolutely. That one is like my favorite.
Okay.
Sydney, you've seen it, right?
I think so, yeah. I love the one that you did with Starline photobombing Tails and Cosmos picture.
I remember that one.
That one's my favorite.
Goodness, yeah. That one's great.
Yeah. I think the one that we when we did that group picture with Pete Capella, and then you literally put Pete Capella as Silver. I'm like, yes.
I just found it. Hold on, let me screen share it really quick.
Yeah, that one was definitely like my favorite. Yes, this one was my favorite. I love the little detail that you literally put the Funko Pop I was holding. My OC's hand. I love that detail.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that one was definitely my favorite. And one more question. I am curious to know if there are any Sonic artists you are hoping to do art collabs in the future. If so, which artists you would love to do art collabs with?
Oh, ooh, that's a good question. Well, I'd like to do one with Ferret Fresh and you too, Leah. I want to do one with you one day. I know you did one with Doom, so I want to do one with you.
Oh yes. Like maybe in the future we may consider doing like maybe one of the song cover artworks, and I can actually have you color it. You know, I can do the initial sketch and then I can send it to you and then you can color it, because that's what I did with Doom. When I did that actual when I did the actual Little Mermaid one, if you guys have noticed, our Revo VA for Amy, Doom the Main Queen, actually did a song cover of Part of Your World and sung it in her Amy voice. And I drew Amy as a mermaid, and of course I had the Chow try to make it look like Flounder. And yeah, but maybe we may do one for a future song cover. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we will have to end this Q&A.
Oh, good.
Aw, I was having fun.
Yes.
Boon's awesome.
Yes.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you. And I'm so sorry, Leah. What were you saying?
I've always wanted to do a Q&A with you, Boon, and I'm so glad that you agreed to do this. It was pretty fun to do this, and yeah, And of course, if you guys saw the announcement on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be doing the first episode with Sonic Lore with Radar with the amazing Floof, aka Radar, this Wednesday. So hopefully you guys will be able to tune in for that. And basically, this first episode, we're gonna be diving into the classic and the Sonic IDW classic lore. So come join us this Wednesday for the very first episode with Sonic Lore with Radar. This is a very good this is a very a live stream series that I wanted to be able to do and be able to in case if you guys have any questions about any of the Sonic lore, Radar will try his best to answer your questions. So be sure you guys tune in this Wednesday for the very first episode with Sonic lore with Radar. So and I would like to give a very great shout out to my very wonderful co-host Sydney here. For co-hosting this with me. I appreciate you co-hosting this Q&A with Boon.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me. It was so much fun. It was great to celebrate Boon.
Yes. Yes.
And thank you, Leah and Sydney, so much. This is just a dream come true for me. It's still so surreal. Thank you.
Yes, it was our pleasure. I wanted to be able to give you a spotlight, to be able to just to have the audience get to know you, about your art, because your art is amazing, your voice acting is amazing. To have people get to know the people behind the voices. So I wanted to be able to do this, but don't forget, everyone, the very first episode with Sonic Lore with Radar is this Wednesday.
Yes, go give him views. He's amazing and so knowledgeable.
So bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.